pleasure to participate to this event, and I will be presenting a selection of online resources because there are too many to go through. These resources may be useful for your genealogy research, may be useful for the history of the area of where your ancestors came from. You may locate a name or two or some other information or a clue. However, if you don't locate something for your own family, these resources are really good to know that they are available. So we'll start with the National Documentation Center of Greece, which of course coordinates and provides the infrastructure and provides support for all the online resources, and in addition it provides access to the catalogs of the public and academic libraries in Greece. There is a portal where you can search all academic libraries, like it's a union catalog. They also do journals, and these are either digitized or it's new content. It's online content. They've also made available a national archive of PhD theses, some of which are freely available to read or download. And there is a variety of databases, from scientific journals to databases created for a specific reason. For example, the Mediterranean Institute has created a database with information on various cities of Greece, like Rethymno, Ermopolis, and other areas. Let's go and have a look. Before we go into the Library of Catalogs, briefly, I would like to alert you to the various different spellings of some Greek names. This happens because of the differences in the alphabets, and while we're transferring the words, actually we do this letter by letter from the Greek alphabet to the Latin alphabet, and this is called romanization or transliteration. So you can see how many different ways of writing a name we have. It doesn't happen with all the letters. There is a standard from the American Library Association and the Library of Congress, and this is available freely online, which guides librarians to how to convert letter by letter in such a way so that they can standardize as much as possible the transfer of the characters, of Greek characters, to the Latin alphabet. Of course, Greek poses several problems like the polytonic orthography, the monotonic. We don't use diacritics anymore unless the text is ancient Greek or medieval Greek, and we use the year of the fall of Constantinople, which is 1453, to distinguish between ancient and modern Greek. And then the problem is that there are more standards than the ALA NLC, like the ISO 843, for example, which is different, slightly different in many letters, and this is the standard that they're using to write the names in our passports. So this is changing our names. in many occasions. I won't go in detail into that because it's a big topic. There are, when you're looking for books on Greek history in general or local history, I would advise you to start from the libraries in the United States. This because there are many books, there are many Greek books available either in the Library of Congress or holdings in some university libraries or special collections that. And of course, I would recommend that you first search the Library of Congress online catalog and WorldCat. If you're looking for biography, these are the subject headings librarians use for genealogy. Because we'll go to the National Documentation Center now. This is a selection of catalogs of Greek universities. So you may search, you select here or here, and you may search whichever catalogs you wish. Now, the National Documentation Center has provided the infrastructure for lots of archives which are freely available. There is this portal, the Open Archives GR, which is like a central point of searching for certain topics, for all topics actually, not certain topics, I'm sorry. There are 75 collections here, as you can see, and these are broken down. Maybe if we have time, we can look at the online. These collections can be also searched separately because Open Archives is actually uses a different kind of indexing than the database itself. From the Pandectis, which is a portal, one useful database could be the name changes of settlements in Greece, because as you have realized in your research, many villages' names have changed. And this can help you, and this also works in English. This is the National Research Foundation repository, where you can search. This is the Argolinki Bibliotheki, a brilliant work which includes information about 1821 revolutionaries, well-known families, those whose work present unpublished information, and many other. For example, you can see here they're talking about the Vlasis family, and they go on in the second page for each one. One was a famous doctor. He studied in Italy. Blah, blah, blah. Konstantinos became a mayor. Nikolaos, Alexander, who was the wife of Thopoulos, who was the famous revolutionary from the Mitsana. Maria, wife of Zoitopoulos, etc. This is also research from the Institute of Hellenic Research, which is available freely. This is another interesting archive, the Historical Archive of Greek Youth. A lot of books have been digitized, and they present useful information on education and youth. For example, this one is about Greek students at the University of Pisa, 1806 to 1861. There is another one which is not, which is a private organization, and it's called the ELIA, the Literary and Historical Archive. They have a huge photographic archive. They have a big archive of postcards, an archive of ephemera, and a collection from the theater and other cultural. And this is very interesting to search. These are scientific journals, and they may have published research which will provide some clues, background, or possibly present a document which would not be found elsewhere. Then we have the Institute for Mediterranean Studies, and these are the cities. The people who compiled this database added information from all these for all these cities, for Rethymno, for Hermopolis, Kea, Nafplio, etc. There's some electoral rolls, some contracts. This is an example of a contract here. And at the bottom we have the participants, and Debbie would like that because there is a Casanova here, Zorzis Casanovas, and a Mr. Petrokokinos and a Kalvokoresis. These are people from Chios. This is also freely, it's of the Kendron of Mikrasiatikon Spudon, the Asia Minor Studies, the Center for Asia Minor, and the articles are very interesting and also available freely online. This particular one I've got open talks about the population of Smyrna. And finally, there are many public libraries which have been digitizing old and rare books which can be accessed online. I'm sorry, I quickly turned this. Okay, this is something really new, quite new. It's from the army. And I searched the other day for my grandmother's brother because he was killed during the war, Second World War, and here he is. Kayanas Yorgos, father's name Christos, he was a sergeant, was born 1913, and there's more information that he passed away during the Second World War, the date, and possibly more. And here's another. This is about Haramis, who was killed in 1919 in the First World War. And we have the location here, which is the Hospital of the Army in Kavala. There are two links to the Army database, and they both are working. And they're both working, sorry. This is an indexing of a small period of time from 1833 to 1847 of the official Gazette of Greece. And, oh, I'm sorry, this should have gone together with the Army. They have also digitized articles from newspapers, which are useful for our national matters. And this is how you search. And they also have an archive, which I believe is for specialized research. This is the e-publishing. Got mixed up, I'm sorry about that. This is the e-publishing National Documentation Center, and you can see what's available so far and the new articles that are being added. Then we have some newspapers and periodicals online. These are from the National Library of Greece. They're from the library in Crete, and there's a small section a bigger section in Parliament, in the Library of the Parliament, and in Kefalonia. The problem is that only this collection that you see in your screen for the National Library of Greece is indexed. There is no indexing for the other collections, and hopefully in another project in the future they will be indexed. You see we have Acropolis, Eleftheria, Ekros, Macedonia, Rizospartis, Crete, and Tachydromos, and the dates and the years available. And here's a selection. I searched for Stagalis, for script, and this is how the results look like. This, the newspaper, the date of the issue, and the page. And you click here and you open to read the article. This is a database of the genealogy department, and it's done a very good work because we have databases for people who came from Asia Minor to Greece as refugees or with the exchange of population, and they are collecting information and have compiled databases for the region of Attica and for the region of Macedonia. One can type a name here, a surname, submit, and see if there's information listed there. Also, they may browse according to the alphabet. When they find a person, like here, Manuelidou Sofia, and she belongs to the family tree of Efremoglu, they will have to contact the project administrator for further information because this is personal data. This is an example of the foundation, an example of a tree, and of the work they do. Okay, this is quite far from us, and it's the digitization of some Venice books and archives. I've chosen this one instead of a book of deaths. There's a book of deaths and marriages as well, but this one particular, dated May 20, 1914, is an application of Dionysius Papageorgopoulos to the community in Venice. And here he mentions that his children work and live in San Francisco, and they are musicians. So this is an amazing how serendipity can contribute to your research. I mean, this is not the place that one would usually find information like this, because these were people who lived in Venice, Greeks who went to Venice. This is what I had to say, and I've included some examples. You can use this. This is online, and this is exactly what they used to romanize or transliterate our names in our passports from the police. And this is a place where you can hear the sounds of the letters. It's created by the university. It was created by the University of Xanthi. So you can click on each one, hear the sound of the letter of gamma, see words, and see someone writing the letter. So if someone wants to start learning Greek, this is probably the first place to go to explore the Greek alphabet. And you see that it has also combinations, exercises, dialogues, and much more. That's a dictionary. And the final is an excerpt from the Venice books of some students. So I see here an Alexandros and a Vristenis Zezus or Jesus, and that has to be investigated. Could there be a relationship with Nicole? So that's the end of the presentation. It was very brief, and it's difficult to show online resources in a static format. I will gladly connect to the internet and answer questions, or go if you want to explore a specific resource. I will gladly show this. Thank you very much.
Marina, thank you for that presentation. It was so informative. I need to ask you on behalf of the people here, the handout, will you be making a handout for us